One thing I must confess to you, I never yearned to be a big star. And so far, it's worked out very well. I once went to the doctor and told him I had a terrible fear of heights. He said, don't worry, you won't be reaching any. But here's a fella who's reached a few heights, even, in fact, an entry in the Guinness Book of Records for being able to crack more gags than any other comedian in the world in a minute. He's a very funny chap. I'd like you to greet Paul Stevens.
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Very good evening. Everybody happy tonight? Yes. Good, we'll soon put a stop to that. Ronnie was just asking me what sort of a day it's been today, and it has been one of those funny days. Even the air flight down from Sydney. There we sat in the plane. All of a sudden, a Frenchman sat right at the front of the plane, stood up, he said, "Vive la France!" Opened the emergency door and jumped out. Then this Englishman sat behind me, he stood up, he said, "Rule Britannia." He opened the emergency door, he jumped out. Then this big American stood up, 6'12". He said, "Remember the Alamo," and threw 3 Mexicans out. I knew it was going to be a funny day today. I got up at 8:30 this morning, and as usual, I punched the bag for 10 minutes. Then she got up and made the breakfast. No, we're happy, really. It's my second wife. My first wife ran off with my best friend, and I miss him. I didn't realize what a good friend he was till they're gone. No, we're happy, really. I'm only joking. We think we've found the recipe for happiness. We do. We go out twice a week now. We have the full treatment. We wine, dine, dance. Then we go to one of these discotheque queues. Boogie all night. Then we go home and make mad, passionate love all night. Twice a week we do this. She goes Tuesdays, I go Fridays. It works. I remember when I met her. We met in a bar, and I walked in. She winked at me and sent the waiter over to ask me for a dance. So I had a couple with him. Enjoyed it. Then she smiled at me and rolled her eyes at me. I picked them up and rolled them back. Well, she had what you call jealous eyes. You see, one eye kept an eye on the other. Cross-eyed. She was so cross-eyed, when she cried, the tears ran down her back. But I thought she'd make the perfect wife. You know what a perfect wife is? A deaf and dumb nymphomaniac whose father has a pub. Next to a golf course. It was like a marriage of demented convenience. She was demented and I was convenient. But still, I married her for better or for worse. She couldn't get any better and I couldn't get any worse. I asked her father, I said to her father, "Could I have your daughter for my wife?" He said, "Bring your wife in and let's have a look at her." I remember the wedding as it was yesterday. I wish it was tomorrow, I'd cancel it. And the honeymoon. The honeymoon I booked a world cruise. A world cruise. You know what she said? "Can't we go somewhere else?" First hotel we went into, she said, "I don't like this room. It's too small, it's too drafty, and there are no windows." I said, "We're still in the lift." She was a big girl, 28 stone, and ugly. She didn't use makeup, polyfiller. Her father said, "Beauty's only skin deep." I said, "Well, if that's the case, she must have been born inside out." She was a big girl. She was so big she had to have her ears pierced every Saturday. Just so the kids could watch the TV. I remember one day she was walking through a forest and the elastic on her knickers snapped. Knocked down 16 trees. But she used to have a fantastic job in summer. She used to go all the way over to Scotland and get £50 a week just for swimming up and down Loch Ness. When she got in, the monster got out. Started to picket the place. Then we went across to Ireland. She said, "We'll never make it, we'll never make it." I said, shut your gob and keep swimming. We went to Killarney, showed her the Blarney Stone. She bent down to try and kiss it. It spit at her. We made a lot of friends in Ireland. Oh, lovely friends. Saw this Irish fellow one day repairing 24 panes of glass. Then he found out he had a crack in his glasses. Went into an Irish restaurant, had a beautiful meal, Irish mixed grill. Mashed potatoes, roast potatoes, baked potatoes and chips. What a terrible cook she was, though, my first wife. Even the garbage can had ulcers. I mean, have you ever tried rare pork? Or a rhubarb pie, 2 foot long and 1 inch across? She used to do funny things, like one week we had rabbits 7 days a week. 7 days. The 7th day I was doubled up with constipation. She said, what you need is castor oil. I said, what I need is a ferret. Well, I was so ill I had to go to the doctor's. And there I was in the doctor's surgery, and this woman came in completely hysterical. She said, doctor, I've forgotten to take my contradictive pill. He said, madam, you're ignorant. She said, yes, 3 months. She said, what's more, I've got a terrible allergy. With every cigarette I smoke, it makes me 10 times more sexy. He said, sit down, have a cigar. Into my life you came, spreading the glow, you shared my name. Heaven, Lord knows I'm not ashamed to tell the whole world I love you. Stretch out your hands and pick me up. Nourish me from a loving cup with a love that really built me up until my cup runneth over with your sweet understanding love, undemanding love. Well, it's sure not love. Give me your sweet and undying love, undenying love. Well, it's sure not love. Hey, baby, pick me up when the torment's down. Rescue me from the underground. Encircle me with your loving arms, and I'll always be thankful. Look at me, I'm a brand new man, with you a part of my master plan. Now I'm ready to take a stand, because you made me a winner with your sweet understanding love, undemanding love. Well, it's sure not love. Give me your sweet and undying love, undenying love. Well, it's sure not love. Hey, baby, L-O-V-E. L is for the only love you gave to me. Oh, L-O-V-E. O is for the only love I've ever known. V, L-O-V-E. V is for the value of a priceless understanding. E, L-O-V-E. E is everlasting, your sweet understanding love, undemanding love. Well, it's sure not love. I said it's sure not